So doll collecting is what we do. Now let me tell you a little guide on how to. Hello fellow doll lovers, Barbie Nation here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning into another video with me today. My name is Aryan, aka Barbie Nation, and what I do is I collect dolls, I play with dolls, I talk about dolls, and every now and then I give them a super cute makeover. So if you're into anything cute, sweet, and petite, definitely subscribe to my channel to get some lovely pastel glitters on your feed. Now let's get into some doll collecting 101. Here we go. Hello my lovely people, so nice of you to join me once again, and today I just wanted to discuss something with you as one doll collector to another. I have been wanting to do a video like this for quite some time. I'm just gonna sit down, talk to you through my way of collecting and some tips I may have for you. I always really enjoy these kind of videos from other collectors, so I thought, you know, why not sit down, talk to you about what I do to collect. I don't have a doll collecting person or friend in real life in my environment, so I really enjoy to see videos of other collectors to see how they approach their collecting. There are a few things I want to discuss today. So the whole psyche of collecting, I really think that's super fascinating. I just really like some reflection on one's self every now and then, so I'm really intrigued by my own collecting habit actually. So whenever I see a video that talks a little bit deeper about the psyche behind collecting, it is just fascinating to me and also really eye-opening actually. So yeah, and then of course how you could start a collection. Maybe you're watching these doll videos and you're like, you know what, I really want to start a collection, but I really don't know how to start, where to start, or when to start, you know? So I really want to break down some of those topics. Of course, also where to find them and, you know, kind of like pricing, value. Also very important for us collectors, storage. Ugh. Oh my gosh, you know, storage is just, well, and space in general is just a never-ending struggle when you're at a doll collecting level like I am. When you have over 500 plus dolls. Yeah, so those are kind of like the topics I want to break down today. Hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It really helps if you want to help me grow and help me to enable to make future content for you guys. So go ahead and press that like button, leave a cute comment, subscribe to my channel. It is all for free, and that is one of the many things you can do to support my channel. So, like I said earlier, I don't have friends in my inner circle that collect dolls or any other type of real life friends that collect dolls that I can share my hobby with. So consider me that friend if you can relate to that. And I'm just going to sit down with you and talk about how and why we do collect. That brings us straight to the whole psyche of collecting, which is super fascinating to me. And, you know, the age-old question, why do we collect? So I've watched a couple of videos and I've read a few articles about why we collect. So the main reasons why we collect, these are kind of like the reason that I thought were the most relatable. One of the reasons why we collect is to have a goal, you know, to set certain goals on the collecting journey. And it gives a sort of feeling of fulfillment and probably some sort of hormone in your head that really gives off a satisfying vibe. The other big reason is sentimental reasons. So usually it all starts when you're very little and you get separated from the breastfeeding of your mom, so to speak, and that comforting teddy bear. Usually along comes this other comfort item, which is usually in a form of a toy. So for a percentage of us, probably that was dolls. If I speak for myself, I think that's true because when I got my first Barbie doll, that was really a big, giant safety zone instantly. Of course, it also has to do with what you love and your preferences. But Barbie came into my life and that was an immediate, instant safety zone. Sentimental reason, yeah. Barbie, you know, whenever you had a tough day at school, if you were being bullied, you could not wait to get home to lock yourself up with your safety blanket, which was a doll. And I can really relate to that. Whenever I had a really tough day, if it was in, and it doesn't matter if it was like heavy bullying or just a bad day in general, Barbie was the safety zone. When you love something so much, you want to get some closer connection to the person or object. That's also what they described. For instance, people who are really a fan of a celebrity, they want to, you know, develop a closer connection to that person. So they start to collect stuff about that certain celebrity or person, which also applies to the certain kind of toy that you're starting to collect. Is that true? Am I trying to build a closer connection to Barbie? Yeah, I think in some way, yes. I also am a sentimental collector, so it is that safety childhood zone, which is a big part of it. And along the way, the love starts to grow. And of course, you want a closer connection to that object you love so much. So it makes sense. Yeah. Now, another thing I found really, really fascinating was this neuro-something scientist who explained kind of like the process in our head. Yeah, I really had to write that down because it was impossible to memorize. So I read it and it really hit home for me and created some sort of like an aha moment. The hunt. So the hunt for, you know, we all watch those doll hunting videos, and for some reason they are so fascinating. They are so satisfying, and we really enjoy watching people go through those stores wanting to get something and seeing them find the object they want. Here it goes. The hunt to obtain a new object sparks a collector's seeking system. For a collector, the satisfaction from attaining a new piece quickly subsides and the hunt resumes. Who can relate? I definitely can. So it really explains, wanting to get a doll or saving up for a doll to acquire for your collection. Once you get it, you have that, that moment of obsessing about it and really, really loving it, sharing it on your socials, wanting to share your proud feeling of obtaining this object and, kind of get like the applause, like,
yes, girl, you did well. We are proud of you. Congrats on getting that doll.
and then, quickly you start to think like, okay,
Who's next?
I mean, I definitely can relate. To give an example, I constantly make a kind of like priority collecting lists. So you can definitely see some phases that I'm going through in my collection. There has been kind of like a 60s phase with collecting. Right now, I'm really heavily back into my childhood dolls and, that whole late 80s to throughout the 90s era of collecting. So I really pinpointed my sights on some iconic dolls of that period that I really want in my collection. And once you obtain a doll from that list, you're happy and you cherish that. You cherish the object, of course, for a long time, but you quickly think like that seeking system is instantly like resetting and thinking like, next, go. Yeah, I read that and I thought it was really fascinating, and it's true for me. I don't know if that also applies to you, but it really was to me. Then there was another one, which, well, really describes the feeling of collecting in general. That really hit home for me. Your collection creates a conceptual circle of magic that wards off uncertainty and chaos, helps define you, and proves not only that you exist, but that you are unique. It's a secure micro world of order entirely controlled by you in a macro world. Yeah, pause that. It is exactly for me what my whole collecting habit is about. It is so true that you just want a safe space to protect you from the chaos around you, especially in the world of today where you get like trigger after trigger all day around you on your phone, TV. I mean, the options today are endless, not only in entertaining, but in gathering information, letting yourself get influenced by influencers, and of course also just life that happens. I know it's really sad to even say it, but people die around you. We lose people we love. People get sick. You lose jobs. Homes burn down. I mean, natural disasters. There are so many things that can hit us and can change our life in an instant. So, chaos. So I read that and I was like, oh my God, yes, it is my circle of magic to ward off chaos and uncertainty in the world. This room, this collection, these dolls, they're always here for me. Yeah, and I could almost start to cry when I think about that feeling because it is so true. So I don't know if you guys experience that same aha just now, but I really think it's so fascinating when you really think about your collecting habits and how therapeutic it is, and seriously, how mentally healing it is. I mean, yeah, to that person who thinks, what are you collecting and why? And it is a waste of money and plastic, and I don't know what they all say, but I mean, I've got my magic circle of protection to protect me from all the chaos in the world, and you can just yeah. Okay, so now that we kind of understand why we collect, and we can all accept the fact that we A, collect, or B, want to collect. So how do you start collecting? Okay, of course, first you have the love and the obsession for an object. If it's, you know, dolls or Legos or He-Man or action figures, cars, whatever, you want to start a cute collection for yourself. You want to kind of like get into the terms of collecting. So, a couple of terms that I really had to get into when I started collecting were like NRFB, which means never removed from box, mint condition. Now, I had a weirdly long time to take and understand what that exactly means, because I thought mint condition and NRFB were kind of like the same, which they are actually, but mint condition is really to describe something that is in a really good and perfect condition. I think it goes all the way back to the time when coins were being pressed and they got out of the mint machine or something, so it was called mint condition because it was freshly pressed, produced, whatever. And NYB, which is new in box, MIB, which stands for mint in box, NM, which stands for near mint, so almost perfect, but probably a little shelfware or minor damages to the box or the doll. Then there is HTF, which stands for hard to find. Now, this is an interesting one because some people claim things that are hard to find, but please do your research, search that doll high and low on the internet because it is not always that hard to find. Yeah, so they just use that term to make it more appealing or to kind of like go at your seeking system. Yeah, there are sneaky sellers out there who know how the psyche works. Yeah. So be aware of that term. If you see it, in cases it is true, but investigate a little before you take that for the truth. Then there are, of course, the scalpers. Yeah, if you hear people talk about scalpers, what it basically means is people who are buying stuff, limited edition items. Mattel Creations, for instance, has a lot of scalpers active on their website. So when you see an item drop and it instantly sells out, it probably 50% of those items goes to people that will sell that item, resell that item for double the money. So if you see an item that was just released, limited edition, you were not able to get that item, and you see it on eBay or Mercari or another secondhand website, you see it for double the money, it is a scalper. Do not fall for it, please. Please just don't let these people earn money in this business on scalping those dolls. Yeah, I mean, these people, there probably is money to be made, so there are people who are willing to pay double the price just to get that item. That is how big our love is for that collecting. And that, again, that freaking seeking system hits you so hard. So yeah, for the people who do pay those prices, honestly, I get you. I get you because I know in some cases how badly you want a doll to be present in your collection, but think about it. Think twice about it. Give it a second, give it a month. Maybe it will pop up or restock somewhere, you know, just take a chill pill before you make such a big purchase. So, where to find them? Where do we find our dolls? Well, it depends on where you are in the world, of course. If you are in the US of A, you are a lucky person because you have way more access to Barbie, cheaper access to Barbie because Barbie is an American product. It is not only cheaper to collect Barbie in the US, but you can also find her easier over there. If you're in Europe, for instance, it is, there are kind of like levels, I guess. It is easy to find Barbie over here, and you can, if you really want to dive into like older Barbies, you can go on secondhand websites. eBay, Vinted is a very nice one today. There is, for Dutch people, we have Marktplaats, but I'm really not into that anymore because people think people are just awful there, and they grab a 90s Barbie from their old collection, their childhood collection, a 90s Barbie that has been played with, that has, you know, brushed out hair, bald spots, I don't know what, and they think they can charge like 60 euros for a Barbie doll. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay, so I suggested it, but no.
We have, of course, Etsy, but Etsy also has some really crazy prices sometimes. Flea markets, which is a good one, especially for the really older dolls. So flea markets and conventions, of course. There are also small conventions per country. There are like general European conventions, but there are also small conventions. So just, you know, do a little surfing on the net and you can probably find like many flea markets in the neighborhood, or maybe from an hour drive away, to go to and, you know, hunt and, you know, just feed that seeking system a little bit. We always catch ourselves late at night scrolling through those pages. And, you know, it can take weeks, months, years before you find that certain kind of doll that you're after. So don't give up too quickly. Don't bite too quickly. You know, if a doll is like way up there in price, you really have to investigate prices and value. Okay, let's say you want Jewel Hair Mermaid Barbie. To kind of like estimate what you're willing to pay for her, you really have to know what she's worth today on the market. And that differs from if you're in the US or if you're in Europe. Check multiple websites or multiple secondhand websites. See what the prices are on those websites and how much they differ from one another. Take like an estimated value of all of those prices, and, you know, that's how you can kind of develop a price for yourself that you're A, gonna pay, and B, want to pay. I hope it makes sense what I'm all saying here. Just investigate. Don't bite to any seller who is like selling vintage dolls. Yeah. And sometimes it really is hard, because if you have a hard to find doll, you're just gonna have to think to yourself, what do I want to pay for this doll and what am I willing to pay for this doll? Yeah, and it can take years to get that kind of doll, because you need to see it pop up a few times to really know the value of that doll, to see the different prices that she goes up for. I hope this was helpful. And maybe if you have some additional tips or information for us on how to define a good price for a Barbie doll, you know, help us out here, comment down below, and let us know how you define what a Barbie doll is worth. Because I really think that is the hardest thing to define. Okay, storage. If you're starting to collect, this is not really a thing to worry about yet. Well, pretty quickly you start to notice like, okay, I probably am gonna need a room for my collection. Think about it. Do you have the space for a collection? And for people who really take it really hardcore, they even have like a storage unit somewhere where they store their dolls. You also kind of have to think about climate control kind of like issues. Not too much sunlight on your dolls. That's not what you want. Not too much heat. Luckily, I'm in the Netherlands, which is a pretty easy climate, so I don't really have to worry about extensive heat over here, but I do need to worry about sunlight. So I have 2 windows in the back of my room, and I keep like these sunshades down actually throughout the whole summer. Yeah, because also the sunlight hits in a kind of like angle that it really comes all the way into the room, so I really don't want the sunlight to damage my boxed dolls. It especially is damaging to boxed dolls because they start to yellow, and yeah. Also they can kind of trigger, but that also usually comes with extensive heat. They can kind of trigger like some glue seepage or that yellow sticky syndrome that some dolls get. So heat and sunlight are your biggest enemy when you store a doll collection. Also, you want the humidity to be kind of like controlled, so it has to be dry.
Duh.
You just do not want to store them in a basement, or you can store them in an attic, but I would be careful with an attic that it doesn't get too hot up there. Yeah, because it is all the way at the top of the house. So in summer, the sun is on that dark roof the whole day. The heat always goes up into the house, and it is the hottest point of the house. So, you know, kind of depends on where you are in the world. Think about if you store dolls on your attic, but not in the basement. Please, not in the basement, because when it's because mold can just, you know, nest in those boxes and really just spread all kinds of dolly mold you do not want. So no basements, no attics. You know, it's just my kind of advice, you know. Yeah, so room, space, not too many sunlight, controlled heat, not controlled humidity, so no attics, no basements. Am I forgetting something? Well, of course, if you have storage tips, you know, again, please help us out here. If you have any tips for all of us collectors who are seeking answers, don't be shy and share it with us. And all I can add to it is just be proud of what you have collected, share it with the world, try to connect with people, because that is what makes doll collecting and this community really awesome. Start that Instagram account, TikTok or whatever, and, you know, connect with people. There's a theme for everyone to collect, even with just Barbie. It is really fun to have a connection with people who love the same thing that you love, and especially if you don't have people in your circle of friends or environment or family, it is really nice to talk to people who get you and who understand what you love. Share your love for dolls, if it is Rainbow High, LOLOMG, Barbie. Who else do we have? Sindy. Who else do we have? Pullip dolls, Licca dolls, ball jointed dolls. You know, share the love. I really do it because I have a love of Barbie. She is my magic safety zone in this world of chaos and uncertainty. And yeah, I'm just here to have me some good old fun with Barbie. I hope this video helped you a little bit of not only in how to, but also to understand why you collect or why you want to collect. And it is so fun and it is so okay. And don't be embarrassed or ashamed of it. And let me know down in the comments below if this video was helpful for you. Share tips and other tricks that you think are helpful to us. You know, let's continue that conversation down in the comments below. Did you also have that aha moment of the whole psyche of collecting? Let's continue to collect the beauty of the world. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and of course, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get notified about any new videos that I upload. You can also follow me on Instagram at Barbie Nation. That's usually where I post all of my updates. And until the next video, mwah, big kisses from me, and I love you all.